Hey guys, ZFR back here again today, and today I'm talking about the Xbox One versus the PS4 Year 2. Alright guys, now I'm just going to go ahead and start off by saying this. First, I am not a fanboy of either console, so don't worry about any, what you call it, don't worry about any fanboying going on, any like biased opinion. I'm going to be completely honest as possible here. And second, um, I do not own an Xbox One, but like I said, I'm not a fanboy, so I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to call everything how I see it. Don't worry. All right, I will tell the truth and nothing but the truth. But anyway, getting into this, I actually did make this video already, but looking back at when I actually made it the first time, it was kind of long. It was like 28 minutes, so I want to kind of sort it down into a more condensed version. So getting into this, let's look at what makes each console really special, and that's those exclusives, guys. Those exclusives are really important when it comes to these consoles. And as some of you might know, the Xbox One pretty much stomping PS4 this year in terms of exclusives. Next year I feel like it's a little more even, if I do say so myself. It seems like next year PlayStation might have a few more, like for instance, Horizon Zero Dawn might come out next year. We're not sure. Uncharted 4 is coming out, and then on top of that, what's it called? No Man's Sky may come out next year. Even though a lot of people, even though I personally am not excited for No Man's Sky at all, like I don't see why people are even excited for that, but they are. So whatever. Um, and this year and this year coming up, like PS4 has like literally, like I said, nothing. Uncharted Nathan Drake's collection, no multiplayer in that, and so yeah, no, not for me. And but that's probably going to sell a little bit until yawn or until dawn. Until yawn's just like a nickname the community seems to be giving that game. Yeah, that does look pretty boring, so I don't think it's going to sell well. Like I said, No Man's Sky, not sure if that's this year or not. Probably not. And really that's all Sony has right now, except for like those exclusive stuff like what you call it, Star Wars Battlefront, and Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and what was the other one? Destiny Taken King. They have those exclusivity deals, but other than that, nothing, man. Xbox, they have Halo 5, Tomb Raider, and Forza. They have Forza coming out, and I think is that it for this year? Oh, and they had Gears Ultimate Edition, which is selling pretty well. And all those games I just mentioned are going to sell pretty well. Now I do think Tomb Raider sales are going to suffer a little bit. Not as much as people are making them out to be. Like, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but simply because the game, first of all, it's releasing on the same day as Fallout 4, which is probably going to be the biggest game this year, the most selling game, if it can manage to beat Call of Duty and Star Wars. But otherwise, that game's probably going to be the biggest selling game. And so that's going to kill sales a little bit. And they also announced two release dates for it next year on PC 3 months later and PlayStation 4 a year later. So yeah, that's going to hurt sales a little bit too. But I'm not even about to go into that. We'll talk about that on a different video. Now getting into this a little more, these exclusives, while I do think they matter, at the same time, this in terms of sales right now, I'm not gonna lie, these exclusives ain't really about to do too much. Like, people are saying, yep, time to throw out your PS4, time. The Xbox One is the Jesus Fox One this year and everything. yeah, like, don't get me wrong, the Xbox One has all of those good exclusives this year. If you're looking for a console and you were like, I want to play some new awesome games that are coming out this fall right now, I would have to recommend you the Xbox One, because that does have all those exclusives coming out. But at the same time, the PS4 is not really going to be hurt by this whatsoever. To be honest with you, first of all, their sales are way too far ahead of Xbox for one fall to make a difference. Maybe if they do the same thing next fall. Second, these multiplats are going to sell pretty well on the PS4 one way or another. Like Fallout, Star Wars Battlefront, Call of Duty, Destiny Taken King, and Metal Gear Solid's coming out soon, which I'm looking forward to a lot. All of those games and Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which I know a lot of people don't like either. All of those games right there, they are going to sell pretty well. And considering there are way more people on PlayStation right now than there are on Xbox, PlayStation isn't really walking away from this holiday without any money in their pockets, alright? Like, I just want everybody to know that, like, because everybody's making it seem like this is the end for PlayStation 4. This is the start of the decline. Like, no, like, they're not going to be hurt. Like, they're still going to be making money this holiday, alright? But, yeah, like, getting a little more into this on some of the more specific stuff. But I'm going to be doing like a little tally system here. So for exclusives, Xbox obviously wins, alright? Xbox obviously wins for exclusives right now. But talking about the hardware. Alright now. Now I better not see anybody arguing with me on this one. Come on, man. Now, Xbox, how do you still have batteries? I'm sorry, that blows my mind every time I think about that. How do the Xbox One controllers still use batteries? That blows my mind. I know what some of you are thinking. Well, you can buy the rechargeable battery packs. Yes, you can, but the thing is, you shouldn't have to buy that. You should not have to. Alright, like, to be honest with you, the only reason I could see them actually making you buy that battery pack is so they can make more money, alright? That's the only reason I see. Because otherwise, if they can make a battery pack like that for $20 and put it in a package for you to buy, they can put that with the console. They can bundle that with the console, alright? They're just the only reason those battery packs exist for the Xbox One, the rechargeable ones. The only reason you have to buy those is so Microsoft can make more money, alright? I don't like that idea at all, alright? And plus that just hurts them, like I said, in the hardware department when you compare them with the PS4, when you can just get the console built-in battery pack, alright? But not only that, they're still using the power brick, which I despise those power bricks, alright? I'm gonna be straight up. I despise those power bricks. Some of you might be thinking it's not that big of a deal, because not everybody has the problem, at least from what I think. But if those power bricks break, they want to charge you, what, about $50 something for a new one? Everything, you have to order it straight from Microsoft and everything. Yeah, listen, no, man, no. They need to get rid of that too. So I'm not even about to go into that, but yeah, the Xbox One loses hardware hands down just because of those two simple facts. I don't even have to go into any of this other stuff, because those two things right there are so trashy. I don't see how you can say the Xbox One comes out on top against PS4 and hardware, and nobody bring up that cloud garbage where they're talking about the power of 20 or 14 Xbox Ones, because we haven't seen proof of that at all yet. And when we do, I'll make a follow-up video saying how much better it is. But for right now, yeah, Xbox loses hardware, PS4 wins that department. So they're kind of tied right now, one for Xbox, one for PS4. Now when I look at a console, another thing some of you might look at is the price. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this doesn't really matter as much, simply for the fact the prices are so freaking similar right now. Like, they're literally like, I think the PS4, like the actual console itself, is a little more expensive. It's like $10 more expensive, I guess. But at the end of the day, the Xbox One is more expensive. And I know what some of you are thinking. Oh man, I can't believe you're throwing this in here. But hear me out here. That battery pack, that's $20 more on the Xbox One. Alright, each console is, the Xbox is $350, I believe. Is it? Or is it I'm not sure if it's $360 or not. But either way, they're pretty similar in sales. They're around in that area I just mentioned. The Xbox One, you have to pay $20 for a battery pack if you want. And if you don't pay that $20 for a battery pack, you about to be paying a pretty good amount of money for actual batteries. All right. With the PS4, you obviously don't have to do that. With the Xbox also, this really doesn't matter as much to me. Like, I don't really care about this at all. Xbox Live is $10 more expensive than PlayStation Plus when it comes to year memberships. Even when it comes to 3-month memberships, they are still a few bucks more expensive. But I don't really care about that because it's just a few bucks. But though that battery situation, though, I'm sorry, I'm not going to let that slide at all, guys. This is next gen. Those battery packs shouldn't exist. If it wasn't. Oh my god, like, if it wasn't for those battery packs right now, Xbox would be stomping PS4 in this competition right now. So where are we at? Let's see. Xbox One exclusives, PS4 One hardware, and PS4 wins price. So PS4 is one ahead right now. Let's see, what was the area I had planned? Now, yeah, the interfaces. Now this is an interesting one, like, and just the overall experience and stuff. I want to say it like this. I think both of them have a good interface, but both have like a lot of problems and stuff and everything. Like, for instance, the Xbox One's interface, a lot of people thought was kind of junky and everything, but of course Microsoft is fixing that. The PS4 interface, it was always kind of simple, but at the same time, that PSN network, that PlayStation network, though, like, the amount of times that's gone down compared to Xbox, yeah, like, I like PlayStation, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to give that one to Xbox right now, because PlayStation, you be going down a little too much. Like, that PS Network, though, they gotta work on that, like, especially since they're getting PS Plus now. Like, everybody's buying PS Plus now if you want to play online. Like, you need to be using that money to upgrade, alright? You need to. And the controllers, that's one of the big points I want to touch on. Freak me, like, so I even count this, guys, because you already know what I'm gonna say now, but I've gotta count this because this is a big part of it. But I really don't know if I should, to be honest with you, because once again, Xbox One with those battery packs, though, oh my god. Alright, but if I take away the if I forget the fact that Xbox One has that battery pack for a second, and if I don't care about paying the extra $20 to get it, then I would have to say, I would have to say, I honestly would have to still say PlayStation. I do think their controller is better. And the reason I think PlayStation 4's controller is better simply because when the consoles changed, it got way more upgrades. First of all, like the Xbox One's controller is pretty much identical to Xbox 360, just a little flatter and lighter. But PS4, that controller is a lot different. It's a lot better than last gen. And I feel like considering this is next gen, there needs to be upgrades. Now, the Xbox does have that really awesome controller coming out. Now, if they launched it with a controller sort of like that, like with all that cool stuff on there, now they would have won that for sure. But to be honest with you, like, I have to say PlayStation simply because they actually did do something different with the controller. It does feel like the controller actually changed and got better from last gen. Like the Xbox One's controller is it's pretty good still, don't get me wrong, and I know a lot of people say why fix something that's not broken, but the thing is innovation. Like, it is next gen. I would have liked to see some changes to the controller, or a little more, or a few more changes that were just a little more, that were just a little cooler. Like, I feel like the controller is so similar, to be honest with you. But yeah, when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, like, even though, like, when I look at the tally system, the PS4 did win by 1 when I look at that. But to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I really do feel like both consoles are on a pretty even playing field right now. I feel like they're pretty even. And deny it all you want. Now, I will admit, if you have a problem with that battery pack, those batteries though, then you already know who you should pick. You already know. I'm just saying. But in terms of the overall experiences on the console, I say they're pretty even right now, to be honest with you. So, like, I know a lot of people, I know all the fanboys are like freaking out and trying to make one seem so much better than the other. They're trying so hard. Like, for instance, I know all the Xbox fanboys are jumping on the fact that the PlayStation 4 didn't have any exclusives for this fall, even though they do have like a few, barely any though. But they're jumping on that when their console hasn't even had an exclusive for like most of this year. So I don't know why like everybody's like making a big deal about this, because like I said, the Xbox One, that thing didn't have no exclusives for most of this year. Sony, they had stuff like I can't even remember what they had, to be honest. I know they had Bloodborne. They had something else, but I can't remember it all. I think they had like 2 more earlier this year. But I can't remember them all. Was it Infamous Second Son? That was way earlier though, wasn't it? I don't even know. That was like 2014, yeah. But yeah, Sony, they're not as bad off as people are making them out to seem right now. But at the same time, Microsoft, they are doing a good job with helping that Xbox One catch up. Like, Phil Spencer is doing a great job with the Xbox One, guys. But at the same time, he's going to have to really work if he wants to catch up with those PlayStation sales, because they are pretty far ahead right now. They are pretty far ahead. But at the same time, the Xbox is definitely not doing bad in terms of sales. So all of you PlayStation fanboys, stop like bragging about that, because the Xbox One, even though yeah, Sony is kind of dusting them in sales, they're not they're not doing awful. All right, they definitely are not. All right. But yeah, guys, at the end of the day, it's down to personal preference. Both consoles are good. Both consoles are really good, and to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I would have to recommend you try to get both as soon as possible, so your gaming experience is not limited at all. But at the same time, right now, if you want my personal opinion in this video, I personally think I personally like PS4 a little bit better, but at the same time, Xbox is looking pretty good. It's looking like a pretty good time to get Xbox One. But let me just say this. Everybody out there now, please do not go out here and buy a freaking next gen console right now. Please do not do it. Wait until those Christmas sales, because I see so many people running out right now and buying an Xbox One when those Christmas sales are like right around the corner, where you're probably going to be able to get these huge bundles and stuff for a really great price. Just wait, all right? But yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, personal preference. Which console do your friends play on? And which one do you just have a better feeling about? But like I said, I recommend trying to get both. Don't limit yourself, alright? Don't limit yourself by being such a fanboy. Please don't do it. But anyway, guys, I'm going to stop now because this video is getting kind of long and I don't want to get too long. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys on the next one. ZFR out, guys.